Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. You have spent the first few hours of your morning listening to the High Factotum's lengthy report on the latest trade exchanges, arrangements, disputes, and countless bureaucratic procedures. From outside the illuminated, tightly closed windows, you can hear the muffled sounds of Dargonis and its everyday life. The life that has been passing you by lately, as you have been preoccupied with the affairs of your protectorate from dawn till dusk. Clementia barely contains a yawn. Once Janris Danrock is finished, she pulls out her data slate. Thank you for your report, High Factotum. Your work is highly appreciated, both by everyone here and the Adeptus Administratum. Your Lordship, we are almost done here. We just need to go over the final items on today's agenda that I would like to report to you personally. By all means, continue. Allow me to pass on gifts from your loyal subjects, the high nobility of Dargonis. It goes without saying that every living soul in your protectorate is blessed to serve your lordship faithfully and wholeheartedly. However, this humble gesture is meant as a token of deepest appreciation of your magnanimity toward their esteemed families. Okay, some very basic cargo. We'll take it. House Versurian made arrangements for the delivery of several tons of supplies for your future journeys. The house is also transferring a regiment of its finest into your personal charge. Each of these brave troopers has undergone rigorous Voidfarer training and will be humbled to lay down their life for you, Lord Captain. Clementia is trying to maintain a neutral expression, but you can see her face beaming with pride. Please command them as you see fit. Lord Captain, news of particular import has come from the House's intelligence network. Lord Inquisitor Kalkazar is rumored to be planning a visit to Footfall. A number of Imperial Navy ships were commandeered by Lord Kalkazar and are being scrambled to Footfall. Furthermore, we have received reports claiming that secret messages were delivered to the capital worlds of House Corda and Winterscale. It is possible that the Lord Inquisitor's call to arms may smother the conflict that is brewing between the two dynasties. We are seeing an increasing number of skirmishes between their ships in neutral systems. I do not doubt that her ladyship Corda will attempt to sway the Lord Inquisitor to her side. Especially since his lordship Winterscale's luck seems to be running out. Riots have broken out on several of his worlds, and yet he has shown no intention of quelling them. Instead, the rogue trader inflicted brutal punishment upon one of his oldest colonies, Vesuvia Secundus, based on allegations of seditious sentiment. Oddly enough, our agents were unable to find any proof of sedition among the populace there. As soon as we have any updates, you will be the first to know, your lordship. Clementia glances down at her data slate. Lastly, your pet Xenos, your Liette, I believe, is seeking a meeting with you. She had the audacity to defile the rogue trader's palace with her profane presence, and refuses to leave until she has spoken with you. I would never presume to be able to read the emotions of Xenos, but the Eldari appeared perturbed. I believe she mentioned a void chip of some sort. It may be best if she told you everything directly. Oh ho, a call to adventure. And with that, please allow me and Master Danrock to take our leave. The Chancellor and the High Factotum offer you their bows. Perhaps that last request will serve as a welcome distraction? Indeed, your lordship's stay on Dargonis has been rather long. However, your protectorate is now enjoying a period of relative stability that, for the time being, no longer demands your lordship's personal involvement in its affairs. Glory to the rogue trader. Well, thank goodness for that. Not that I really would have minded if they had decided to throw some actual, re-establishing the rogue trader protectorate simulationist stuff at us for a bit. Almost kind of a shame that they decided to take care of it all off screen. But I am always happy to get back out on those interstellar highways and byways. Let me just get my bearings here, see what we've got in the queue. Right. I'm seeing a lot of hurry up and wait. And then this, which we literally can't complete because we tossed that shard into a nuclear reactor. Oh, right, we still have void beacons, the project pitched by Astartia Wursurian. And my goodness, why would we not do that? That's a huge boost to all of our colonies at a very reasonable cost. Just goes to show how inept Governor Drivestem is at his job, letting his petty politicking get in the way of actual tangible progress for our protectorate. All right, well, that makes for a pretty positive start to Act 3. My goodness, look at that. Though there is still some definite room for improvement on Janus, Dargonis. A little bit on Viabo 6. And then, of course, security on Kieva Gamma. Oh, interesting. Well, that doesn't look right. Interesting. Yeah, Void Beacons is giving us more of a bump than we should be getting from it. Not, I suppose, that I'm complaining. I should probably go ahead and log that as a bug, though. In fact, let's hit the pause button real quick. I'll do that. I'll pour through our new gear, make sure we've got things slotted, etc. And then into Act 3. Ellentok, at last you have left your ornate cage. Yurliet casts a look over the stone palace walls. For many a turn have I sought to meet you, and yet your servant, the one who is like the silver-haired Abelard but twice as young, has no favor for the requests of a child of Asaurion. Take me to a place where the hearing of others will not steal the words intended for you. While you were mending the wounds of this world left by the Twisted One's attack, I was able to discover... No, not Krutarok's fate. Merely traces of it. As Waran found sanctuary under the boughs of the Lalathans forests, so did my other kin find refuge in a system known as the Atlas Reach. We must make a journey there with haste, before new dangers destroy the witnesses who can show me the way to the lost Krutarok, whose fate remains shrouded by the stars. Yurliet focuses her piercing gaze on you. Their knowledge is the sole thread that may lead me to the truth, Ellentok. I ask that your metal-winged ship take me along that thread before it tears under the strain of time and circumstance. Of course, Yurliet. I told you I'd help you with this stuff. You said Atlas Reach? Have you actually talked to them? No, I did not contact the Asauriani. I have no means to do so. But I had enough time to explore the stone jungle of your world while you were preoccupied with your urgent matters. The path of the outcast has taught me to observe, then listen to the world around me. In this case, the throngs of Monkey at the port, errant conversations, rumors, chance words. Like parts of a speckled mosaic, they came together to form a hazy image. My kin were seen in the Atlas Reach, and now all we have to do is pull at the web of connections and possibilities to uncover whatever is concealed from the unseeing eye. Well, your timing's quite fortuitous. I actually just wrapped things up here. Let's go check it out. You will. The ice in Yurliet's eyes melts away for a moment. Thank you, Alan Tech. If this path indeed takes me to the truth, I will be indebted to you. A rare happening between our kinds. Okay, I mean, I feel like you were kind of already indebted to me, what with all the other things I did for you, including sparing your kin on Janus, but... Sure? Alright, well, back to the ship. We'll see if there's any events waiting for us there, and then, if not, straight to Atlas Reach. Which also gives us an excuse to use this brand new ship pad they just added as a shortcut straight back to our ship. Certainly a welcome addition. Used to be you had to walk like 8 screens to get back to the entrance out front. No immediate pings. Oh, though we should chat up Heinrichs.
Let me preempt your question. You want to talk about what happened after the Magna Exsellsior.
Heinrich sees you and straightens to his full height. Yeah, about that, Heinrichs. I don't really so much have questions as I do a simple warning. The next time you or your master want to talk to me, just arrange a meeting like normal people. The life of a rogue trader is one fraught with peril. You try to ambush me again, I can't be held responsible for how I might respond.
I cannot guarantee that the Lord Inquisitor will never again announce his desire for a face-to-face meeting with the rogue trader von Valancius at his convenience. If that happens, the meeting will take place, and I presume the two of us will have another unpleasant conversation in that case. I will be ready for it.
Heinrich's face shows nothing but icy calm.
We will not discuss this again. As I see it, the Lord Captain would do better to focus on his immediate duties than to continue ruminating on what is past.
Getting some real mixed messages here, Heinrichs. You literally just told me that you'd be prepared to discuss it again. But it's fine. I know you're just trying to sound tough. See, the problem there is that you started off with the ultimatums, and I do not respond well to those regardless of what the potential consequences might be. But, you know, that said, from an out-of-character standpoint, I get why Heinrichs had to do what he had to do. As a sanctioned psyker, he has even less rights than your average Imperial citizen. I certainly wouldn't expect him to defy the orders of his immediate superior. And he did almost, but not quite, warn us about it ahead of time. Which I also appreciate. It's just in character, you know. In character, I have to remind myself that Valen has a very nasty history with the Inquisition. Thus, it would be very strange if Valen weren't at least a little bent out of shape over how things went down. That aside, from a more logical, diplomatic standpoint, I imagine Kazorm sees us as too valuable a tool to necessarily sacrifice over some simple saber rattling. Oh, and there it is, Atlas Reach. Not too far out, that's like 3 jumps. Let me just skim the map here real quick, see if we have any other event markers. Still no access to the cauldron, so I guess that's for later down the line. Okay, yeah, looks pretty clear. Let's push for Atlas Reach. See what there is to see. Void Beast. Nothing Cass can't handle. Which of course nets us yet more navigation points. Not as if we really needed more. We'll use those to smooth out the last jump to Atlas Reach. Demonic eyes had materialized and begun to slither across the walls of Crew Quarter 49. The burning orbs swelled like bubbles of fetid swamp gas, only in secluded places at first, later appearing in plain sight. Everyone subject to their gaze started experiencing headaches and spells of self-flagellation. After one of the officers peeled off a portion of his own skin to fashion a makeshift eyelid for one of the fiendish orbs, the section was quarantined since neither fire nor other munitions could prevent more eyes from sprouting up on the ship. The vessel was cleansed only by escaping from the clutching embrace of the Sea of Souls. Yeah, that's pretty effed up. Probably best to keep a lid on that sort of thing. And on to Atlas Reach. We'll take it down to unsafe. I don't want to completely remove a chance for events, you know. They do help keep things interesting. The clan servicing the Void Shield arrays petitioned the Lord Captain for aid. Compartments were becoming overrun with putrescent fungal corruption. The mycelium claimed one chamber after another. The thick, black spores poisoned the rogue trader's servants, causing their eyes to burst and their veins to swell until their skin ruptured. The clan was issued reinforced unirobes and gas masks so they could keep working while the soldiers burned away the infestation. Well, you know what, maybe I should have gone ahead and made that save. Sorry guys, my bad. Quick spot check on colonies, and in we go. Lord Captain, according to our telemetry, we have arrived at the coordinates you specified. The augurs do not register any activity on the surface of the local planets, biological or otherwise. But maybe the Xenos are using their arcane technology to conceal their presence. Despite this, the augur crew managed to locate a faint signal at the system's edge. According to their data, it is coming from an unidentified vessel drifting in the orbit of a local gas giant. My kin could have been faced with a new threat, scavengers like pirates or something worse. If they were taken prisoner... Yurliat's voice is trembling with something that could be either anger or fear. I am begging you, Elentech. Let us go to the shuttle. I can feel that the thread of fate has frayed and is about to snap. I cannot miss what may be the only chance to solve the mystery behind the disappearance of my home. Right. So, Chartist vessel last. Let's see what else we've got en route. Abandoned Tech Priest base. With an assortment of fairly mundane cargo minus 15 shards of crystallized darkness. That's ever so slightly perturbing. And then 5 units of plasteel, which we'll actually hold off on for now, at least until we get more extractiums. Running a mite bit thin at the moment. Lord Captain, there is an unusual cluster of binary asteroids before us, rich in rare metals and valuable minerals. They are moving in a fairly stable orbit, which suggests the possibility of constructing a mining station inside the drift. Is that so? Ah, I see. Oh, wow. Okay, well, if ever there was any reason to burn one of our remaining extractiums, I'd say this is it. That more than doubles our current adamantine yield. Though it does also very clearly mark a vague warning I received from multiple people, so now my guard is up. Lord Captain, reporting. Our void ship has passed through a cloud of cosmic dust of unknown origin. Unfortunately, the dust particles were covered with an icy shell that has frozen into thick sheets on the void ship's hull, blocking some of the technical vents. It will take some time for the servitors to clear the ice. Until then, our maneuverability will be somewhat reduced. Okay. Is that an actual debuff, or is that just narrative fluff? Do we have an impending space battle? Fuel. Makes sense. Hydrogen skimming, I suppose. Which just leaves our Chartist vessel. Alright, let's see what we're in for. Oh, we're actually going in. Okay. Well, in that case, I suppose we are ever so slightly breaking from the norms. Because, yeah, as aforementioned, I received numerous warnings, like 6 to 8, some of them dating back months now, to make sure I took Argenta with me when we embarked on the first actual deployable mission of Act 3, with the adamantine node being a warning sign that we were about to hit it. And while I was not given the why, I was told it was very important for narrative reasons, so yeah, I guess we'll follow suit. Kibble sits this one out, and Argenta gets to tag along. Oh, and then I did have 1 or 2 folks recommend also taking Adira, but I was told it was not as vital. So, I'm afraid she's just going to have to sit this one out. Hopefully it's nothing too serious for her, but we just wouldn't have proper skill coverage otherwise. Not without a frustrating number of respecs. With Argenta, it was much more straightforward. She's now our key demolitionist and mediocre medic. Formation's all out of whack now, too. That's going to drive me bonkers. Okay, hold on. Let me just... Intimidated officer. Yeah, hold on. Let me just do some quick shuffling here. Try to get people more or less in the right areas. Yeah, that works. The lanky, haggard-looking officer with sunken cheeks stares at you in fright. His body is shivering as if from a feverish chill, and his eyes are darting back and forth anxiously. Your lordship, rogue traitor. What brings you to our humble ship? Stop shivering like a leaf in the wind, Monkey. Answer me. Have you seen others like me in this system? If you have, tell me where, when, and under what circumstances your paths crossed and diverged afterward. The officer's eyes widen at the sight of Yurliet. His face grows even paler than before, and his lips move in a wordless prayer, unable to utter a word in response. A whirlwind of orange and blue torments their souls. Can you not feel its gusts in the wind all around us? Its hues are terrifying indeed. Easy, friend. I know this is a bit much. We're just looking for information. Why don't we start with your name? We are... The officer swallows, gives you a strange look, and then closes his eyes. Emperor, forgive me.
I'm beginning to think that your kind is eager to step into our snares.
You gasp, sucking in the poisoned air, each breath scorching your insides with liquid fire from throat to lungs. Every cell in your body is engulfed in maddening pain, as if you are being doused in molten metal, skinned alive, and subjected to yet another form of torture. You hear sounds coming from somewhere far away, the moans of your people, the shuffling of bare feet, and light footsteps slowly getting closer. Rogue Trader. A long-awaited meeting indeed. You can barely see anything through the haze of agony, but you still remember the voice well. The voice of the Xenos who devastated your capital world. Marazai's face is hidden behind a helmet, but his tone leaves no room for doubt. He is smirking. Yurliet, who is writhing in pain next to you, is barely able to breathe out. No. What have you done? Are you dissatisfied, my kin? I promised that you would have your precious craft world survivors, and so you will. I will take you to them. I might even be there to witness your jubilant reunion. Servo drives wine under the tech priest's scarlet robe in a dogged but fruitless attempt to lift his body.
The inferior flesh has betrayed me.
You must have punished it poorly, Iron Monkey. No matter. As a captive, you will learn how to apply the art of torture to make it fear the very thought of betrayal. Marazai takes a closer look at your companions, squirming in agony, then gestures nonchalantly to someone you cannot see. Bring in the injectors. The monkey I promised to Tervantius are among them. I do not want these wretches to move an inch until they are in the hands of the Arch-Machinator. As for you, there is a disturbing gleam in the Dracon's eyes. You will have your share of paralyzing dreams, too. But I am going to keep you. You are far too precious to be surrendered to a madman playing with fire. Yurliet, you did this. After everything we've been through. Yurliet tries to respond, but the best she can muster is a tormented groan. What a display! Did you truly put your trust in my cousin? Did you think that between a monkey and her blood brother, she would choose you? Marazai's laughter drips with poison. Remember this and never forget it. You are an animal. When we have need of monkey, we use you. When we require something more, we turn to our equals. Just as Yurliet turned to me. His last words fill your head like the deafening echo of a ship's siren. The gas creeps deeper into your lungs, eating away at them hungrily, as the agony spreads down your every limb. You are suffocating. Are you enjoying the sensation? I had this poison made for you. Who could have thought that a monkey would one day earn such an honor? A special gift from a Drakon. But you're suffering. The Xenos leans closer to you. I knew the taste would be exquisite, were I to add a touch of the Drukhari's talent for extracting anguish. However, there will be time for that later. No matter how I wish to play with you all one after another, I need you for a purpose, Rogue Trader. Kamarog awaits, all of you. Mandrakes, take them. Leave none behind. Wow, right, okay, so we're really doing this. Yep, you know what? I immediately see why this this particular arc is so widely reviled. Forced capture arcs are always a tough sell. Hopefully this won't last too long. Your consciousness emerges from an ocean of darkness and nightmare, as if someone's powerful hand reached into its depths and brought you into the light. In the dark room, long and angular shadows move around and exchange remarks. One of the shadows approaches you, ripping apart the veil of pain and revealing features that look familiar to you. "You are awake, Monkey." Marazai's voice is sickeningly sweet. He is looking at you with idle interest, rolling a soft and milky-colored object from one hand to the other. "Our toxin master spared no expense to drag you out of the induced dream. I must commend the Nightmare Weavers. The emanations of fear you exuded in your delirium are worthy of the highest praise. However, it is time to finish what you were brought here for. It is time to work for the good of the Cabal, rogue trader." "My people, where are they? What have you done with them?" "I do not know, rogue trader. Perhaps they are exuding suffering in one of the choirs of pain and torment. Perhaps they are rotting in one of the vats on the tiers below. I care little for their fate." "As for your little friend from the craft world, oh, you are going to meet her soon. I bet you cannot wait to look into the eyes of the one who brought you to me, can you?" "Why the special interest in me? I thought I was beneath your notice." "I only want the truth, Monkey. So very simple, is it not? A little honesty before the powers that be. I have the tools to extract the most coveted mysteries from the deepest recesses of your mind, but I am not interested in your personal secrets. I only want that which will protect my cabal." "So you kept me alive, hoping I'd cooperate? You really don't know me at all, do you?" "A good question, rogue trader. You are my tool, you see. A sharp and narrow scalpel that I will use to cut away the festering boil on the body of my cabal. I spared no effort to set up this performance. The witnesses, the spies, the agents, and a small bargain to guarantee the result. All that is required of you is that you quietly play your part. I will even go so far as to put you in your native surroundings, in a manner of speaking. But if I see you stepping out of your role, I will make sure that you bitterly regret it." "Okay. Not gonna lie, Marazai, this isn't quite what I expected from you. I was really expecting more knives and less nuance. If you expect me to put on some kind of act, it would help if I knew exactly what it is." Marazai is silent for a few moments, playing with a mysterious object in his hand. "You, Monkey, hate creatures alien to your kind, and this hatred is fueled by primal fear and awareness of your insignificance. To us you are cattle that exist to be butchered and to entertain us. Sometimes we use you in our little games, but to involve you filthy brutes in the politics of Kamarag, let alone in feuds between the cabals, there are few worse ways to bring dishonor to oneself and one's cabal. From the day I first saw you, I knew you were being controlled by another hand, far too experienced and flexible to belong to another Monkey. You stayed ahead of me and Tazara, anticipated our moves, fought back with surprising skill. And I can guess. No, I know exactly how you were able to know so much. Only one creature was sufficiently aware of our tactics and raid plans. You will help me expose her and restore the Reaving Tempest to its former favor. An interesting premise, and yet my contrarian streak compels me to be uncooperative. If it's information you want, you could have just asked. I know something you don't. Something about the tone of your voice makes Smarzai freeze, and then come closer and lean almost into your face. His black eyes greedily devour your slightest movement, and his voice drops to a mocking whisper. Very well. I am listening, Monkey. Oh. Hitting him would be very satisfying, but at the same time would paradoxically probably leave the least impact. I think undermining his confidence is the way to go. The reason I keep winning is because I'm just better than you. The slender fingers on the Kabbalite's glove clutch at your face, the claws leaving deep scratches on your cheeks and forehead. The edge of a razor-sharp blade presses at your throat. Smarzai furiously hisses something incomprehensible. But then he releases his grip, suppressing his desire to kill you on the spot with an enormous effort of willpower. The Drukhari gestures to one of the shadows near you, and your head is forced backward. Smarzai brings the hand holding the strange object closer. You manage to make out translucent, glossy skin, bluish pulsating organs beneath, and a little head with serrated jaws, before the Drukhari pushes the larva into your face. What are we playing, Baldur's Gate 3? Man, I cannot get away from these brain-eating parasites. Negative 32% chance of success on carouse. Yeah, you know what, that does sound about right. Sensing warmth, the creature springs into motion a moment later. As it blindly pokes at your skin, it discovers your nostril, and rushes forward, stretching the skin and tearing through the mucous membrane. Unbearable pain overwhelms you as the larva begins to force its way through the soft tissue and cartilage, each of its movements causing a crunching noise to reverberate through your skull. The creature greedily bites into flesh and moves ever upward, past the bridge of your nose, past your eyes. And then something alien invades your consciousness. My goodness, it really is Baldur's Gate 3. Darkness clouds your eyes, but the sensation of an alien presence does not relent. This is not a conscious mind, but something primitive yet unbelievably strong in its unknowable pursuit. It is crawling around in your thoughts, scratching them with its sides and changing their shape. Perhaps all this is just a bad dream, a quirk of the intellect exhausted by endless troubles, a calumny of a mind too weak for the burden it was made to carry. A stray light dawns at the edge of your perception.
You have disappointed us, rogue trader von Valancius.
Have I? Hey, level up. Also, labyrinthine nightmare maze. Yeah, nothing we haven't seen before. Man, Smarzai really is full of himself, huh? I mean, anyone can jam something in your sinuses and make you scream. Dude seems to really struggle with the actual follow-through, though. If he wanted my cooperation, he should have focused on using my allies as bargaining chips. Instead, he doesn't care what happened to them and he just tossed them to the side, while he focuses on trying to break me instead. Which, as aforementioned with Inquisitor Kel'Thuzar, is the worst way to go about it. But, you know, no one ever accused Drukhari of being smart. I'll also say, yeah, you know, these forced capture arcs are always tough sells. As a dungeon master, I always tried to avoid them too, because some players will just go full kamikaze once you plot hammer them into captivity, once you strip away their power of choice for the sake of the plot. Not saying this will be nearly as bad, but, you know, we'll see where it goes. I'll figure out what we're doing that level up, and then we'll pick up here next time. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Eerie V23, Revenant, Alois, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. If you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.
I will be ready for it. We will not discuss this again.